Welcome back for part number 45 of my Ability and MP Nerds Only challenge. So we are facing off against Sanctuary Keeper. I got all my characters into SOS HP without spending MP on Lulu, which was a little bit of a pain to arrange, but managed in the end. And yeah, I'm going to do a bit of a janky, sort of weird strategy against this boss that I have never used before. I think it requires a little bit of luck with our initial counter values. We'll see if that works out, and maybe a bit of luck later on that we get into, but I think it's worth it. It's kind of a funny strat. So yep, that looks good. I want Aaron to have a turn right after Kamari, and I also want Aaron to do 2 dummy weapon switches. The first one to a weapon, and the second to an armor that does not have SOS haste. So even though on the turn bar he's going to get the next turn, in fact, because he's switching off from haste, he's going to have his turn where we initially saw when I first switched him in, just after Kamari and just before the boss. So next, using a skill I have not really used yet, Full Break. Mental Break with Aaron would do the same thing as what I needed that to do, but yeah, Aaron has something else to take care of here. Next I'm going to slow, not the boss, but Aaron. So the little bit of luck I mentioned with the initial counter values is being able to set things up so I can slow Aaron, but still have him take this turn right before the boss. And I played around a bit, and it seemed like having Kamari as a starting character made that happen pretty consistently, so that's why he was there rather than somebody else. So the slow does delay Aaron's next turn, but because Titus's turn was right before Aaron, he still gets this turn here. And now I'm going to use another skill I haven't used that much, which really shouldn't work against bosses, but somehow it does. So Aaron raises his sword super slowly because of the slow. And what this does is delay Sanctuary Keeper's turn until Aaron's next turn. But because of slow, that's 96 ticks, which as you can see is, yeah, kind of a long time. So now I'm just going to bring in Lulu and Yuna and blow the crap out of him, basically. I don't think we're going to be able to kill him before Threaten wears off, but there's a pretty good chance of a second Threaten just working straight up. I think it might be a 50-50, I'm not completely sure about that. So yeah, that was the little bit of luck I was mentioning as needing later. But yeah, he's just going to sit there and take this. The other great thing about Threaten is that it disables enemy counterattacks. So we don't have to worry about him using Tail Sweep. Alright, Lulu and Yuna obviously have their equipment with the most extra damage on for magic and SOS haste. Yeah, so I was worrying about like, okay, how do I set up to survive the opening? Photon Wings, like who should I auto life to have, come back to life alongside Aaron, who can survive the HP damage kind of thing. But no, it turns out that all you actually need to do is just kill the boss before he gets a chance to use it. Oh, sadly, all of that MP is used up on Lulu. That's too bad. But because of the way the magic damage formula works, even though Riku's magic stat is 10, whereas Lulu's and Yuna's is 20, Holly actually still does decent damage from Riku. Yeah, like 3k against mental broken opponent. Alright, so Threaten is one off. Let's see how much HP the boss has. Yeah, he still has 6.3k, so because I don't have MP on Lulu, there's no way I can do that much. I could have Kamari do ultimate, but that would be like 2.2k or something. So let's go for the second Threaten. I'm pretty sure there's not a way to arrange things so that you can get the damage in there. I could have maybe shuffled things around to be slightly more efficient, but not by as much as that. But anyway, it doesn't really matter because we landed the second threaten. And yeah, now he is done for sure. So it would be nice to let Yuna land the last hit here, but that's a bit awkward because we couldn't copycat that last turn because that would have been copycatting Threaten, which doesn't do anything. And I don't think this Holly is going to kill him. And after this, we've only got Riku's copycat. Alright, so Riku's going to land the last shot. It's no big deal. I think I will refight this until I get half MP cost for Yuna. Thanks to the autosave, I don't have to faff around setting up the HP. So yeah, I kind of enjoyed that fight. Full break and threaten, kind of two of the abilities I didn't use against Flux because they wouldn't have done anything. But nice to get them in there.
Hey,
just see what equipment drop we get.
I know.
So the next part will be making our way towards
Soon
the
means
Zanakan
that
Dome.
not much time left. Riku. Fine. I'll think on the way.
Glorious Ring. Well, dropped for the right character, but sadly not what we were after. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next part.